internet? Answer will be either yes or no. Third question, do you feel excess use of cell phone harms the study? The answer will be either yes or no. Now, this kind of questions are called yes no question because the response cannot be third one. There can be only two responses, either yes or no. So, here the questions which begin with the help of helping verb may be the respondent will respond in two way only, either as yes or no. So after formation of the question, in bracket, the framer of the questionnaire should give the option yes and no. So the respondent only tick there his or her option. He or she may tick mark on yes or no. So there is no other option, there is no other choice for the respondent. So the respondent may choose either yes or no. So these are called yes no questions. In first WH kind of questions, there can be optional answers. There can be 4 or 5 or more options. Out of those 4 or 5 options, the respondent had to reply. There can be optional questions which help in collection of fine responses. Where do you study? Now, see the question, where do you study? There can be many options. There is not 1 or 2 or 3, there can be many. But the person who frames the question should keep in mind in what kind of information he or she wants to extract from the respondent. The options should be given clear-cutly. Here the options are given: at home, in library, at friend's home, in the hostel. So the options, clear-cut option. The fifth option can be given. Any other, specify. Suppose instead of home, library, friend's house or hostel, suppose the respondent have fifth option, and we don't enlarge or we don't want to increase the list, so we can put fifth option. Any other, give or specify that one. So we can, by using this device or tactics, we can draw a limit to the responses, so that it also helps us to analyze the data. Now, clarity about the formation of question. Now, what is clarity about the formation of question? On which topic or on which subject the framer or the formulator of questionnaire wants to elicit responses. So the type of questioners, appearance of the questionnaire, the clarity should be in the mind of person who wants to frame or form the questionnaire. Now, another technical kind of division of questionnaires. The questionnaire can be divided either formally, in personal and issue specific or content specific. Now, there is no essential requirement that questionnaire can be divided in A and B type, in 1 and 2 type. But in the beginning, it should be very clear in the mind of who frames the questionnaire that personal data should be there. Because who is the respondent? What is his name? His or her name? What is the age of the respondent? Where does he live? He or she lives. What is the profession of the respondent? Where does he or she study? I mean, these are personal information. So, in A group, A part, in the first part of the questionnaire, there should be questions regarding personal items, personal informations, and that also depends, that is also related with the second part of the questionnaire. Suppose the questionnaire has to be set up about the academical educational issues. Though naturally, the questionnaire will go to the students or teachers. So, the first part that I would like to call personal part may be consisted of name, age, academic institute, that is the name of the academic institute, city, caste, religion. These are not essential but can be mentioned. Caste, religion, the standard in which the respondent study, that is standard or the year, first year, second year, third year of college. Then suppose the questionnaire is about the health aspect of the respondent, then height, weight, these aspects also can be included. Then the respondent's father, occupation or profession of parents, monthly or annual income of the parents. These can be included in the personal part of questionnaire. So, personal part can be by and large almost same in all kind of questionnaires, whether it is academic questionnaire, that is educational, whether it is commercial questionnaire, or whether it is socio-economical questionnaire. In all these three kinds of questionnaires, the first part or A part, which is personal, remain almost same. In one or two responses, there may be changes. In academic, name of the institution has to be mentioned, while in socio-economical, name of the office or workplace can be mentioned. Age, date of birth, birthplace, these are common questions. Now, one more very important issue for personal part. There should not be long questions like this. I mean, it's not long question, but like this. What is your name? Instead of what is your name, simply number one, name. It should be like in any formal form. Address. Instead of what is your address? No, there is no need of it. Address or residential address. Address of workplace or office. Simple. The more simple, better it is. There is no need to frame the whole sentence here. You have to frame questionnaire A part in such a way that it provides the full information. So here in first part, it should be minimized in wording. Sentences not required, full sentences are not required, only words, name, address, date of birth or age, place of birth, These kind of questions, one word questions, will be enough in part 1. And the part 2, which is consisted of specific to the topic, specific to the content, and real questionnaire begins here. Because the real data collection can be done with the help of the second part. First part is almost common for my dear friends, students. First part, when you prepare, you can prepare a list of 10 questions, simple name, address, date of birth, etc. And that will be applied to all the questionnaires. When you frame or form a questionnaire, that will be common to all with a simple 1 or 2 modification or changes that can be useful to all. But the second part, which is data specific, which is subject to topic specific, which differ in education, in commercial, and socio-economical. Suppose we take up one more important thing. When we want to collect information from a person, we should assure the person that whatever details in this part, personal details are sought, and the respondent should be assured that details gathered will be treated as confidential and be used only for study purpose. This is very important assurance, and this has to be given to all the respondent, because the respondent is unknown to the person who goes for the survey. Why should the respondent provide you the information? So the first of all, in the beginning, at the heading, it should be mentioned quite clearly that, my dear friend, here we are to collect information. We want to do a survey. We are carrying out a survey, and please cooperate. Please provide us information. We assure you that whatever information you provide to us will be kept confidential. It will be treated as confidential matter. It will not be disclosed to anyone. It may not harm you in any way. So he or she should be assured that whatever data has been collected will not be used or misused. It will be used as a study material. So that assurance has to be given in the very beginning, in the first part of our questionnaire, even before the beginning of the personal details. So the respondent will feel free and will give whatever information he or she provides will be treated as confidential. This is very important thing, and it should be mentioned in the beginning of the questionnaire. Now, all the questions should be arranged in logical sequence. Any question should not follow anyone, and there should be interlink. 3 points, very important points. Now, what is this logical sequence? Suppose, I'll give you an example. I say, even in personal part also, shall we start a questionnaire with point number 1, weight, point number 2, address, point number 3, name. Can we arrange question in this way? No. Then what will be the sequence? What will be the logical sequence? First should come naturally. You will say, yes sir, first will be name. Then second will be address. And third will be academic institution's name or name of the academic institution. Residential address. And these are the logical sequences. We can't break logical sequence. Otherwise, the respondent will feel embarrassed. What kind of question is this? In issue specific, suppose even in personal, what is annual income or monthly income? Second question, what is your expenses? Now, can we put these questions in a reverse way? What is your monthly expenses? And then what is your monthly income? Naturally, you will say income comes first and expense comes after that. So the logical order should be maintained. If you maintain the logical order, your questionnaire will be perfect questionnaire. Same will be about any question. Suppose a rickshaw driver's question, a socio-economical condition of a rickshaw driver. One question is there. What kind of response you get from your passengers? There are 4 or 5 responses. Cooperative, non-cooperative, insulting, etc. Suppose the rickshaw driver's response is cooperative. Your next question can be, how passengers cooperate with you? Now you can't reverse both the questions. You can't put the later questions first and first question later. You can't. So there should be perfect logical sequence. Which question should come first, which should come at second position, after that and onwards. There should be link, interlink. There should not be arbitrary